This is my main ingredient to my creative practice. If you look by Godzilla's face, you'll see that I erase crayon on construction paper without tearing. Determination is the reason why I'm here tonight. I was born in Honolulu, the second son to Kathy and Mike Zurfluh. When I was 2, my mom, my brother Steve, and I moved to Tacoma, Washington, where my dad had grown up. At 10 years old, I started skateboarding, which taught me to challenge pretty much everything and to face my fears. I spent a lot of this time alone, looking for answers. Lyrics from music would often give me guidance. Hearing how other artists dealt with similar situations would make me feel connected. I went to my first punk rock show when I was 12. This community taught me that anything is possible, even if you don't have any money. In 1992, I moved to Seattle, and skateboarding introduced me to hip-hop culture. It's the only new art movement of our time. The skateboarding and hip-hop communities thrive on progression that is tangible. Both communities push their creative boundaries collectively, and this is something that gives me a sense of belonging and inspires me and to push my skills even to this day. In 1994, I moved to Florida to study illustration from Ringling School of Art and Design. Here, I would receive a lot of technical training, and for the first time, be challenged to talk about the human experience through my art. After I graduated, I worked a couple years as a graphic designer, learning as much as I could on the job, but I quickly realized that I needed a lot more digital training. So in 1999, I moved to New York to study computer animation from the School of Visual Arts. I'm going way too fast. During this time, I dove into computers. I focused on how to visually tell stories. And in 2003, I would earn my master's degree. While in New York, I worked for Nickelodeon on an animated TV show called Little Bill. I would design props and backgrounds for the show. Then 9/11 happened. The economy crashed. The show was canceled, and I was unemployed for 9 months until I fell into entertainment advertising. For advertising, the creative exercise is to take an idea and do it in as many different styles as possible. Then place that image where the most eyes are going to see it, or repeatedly put it in front of people until it becomes part of their consciousness. These are all the exact skills that I learned through hip-hop, and the reason why I refer to advertising as corporate graffiti. Through all this time, I kept painting walls and canvases for the love of creating. In 2004, I moved to LA, where I joined a startup agency that shares my love for video games. I still work with them to this day. This job embraces more of my conceptual solutions. I try to push the human parts of the narrative to connect with the audience in more emotional ways. This is a creative exercise that I do every day through my own art practice. In 2014, I moved to Charleston, and for the first time, I started putting myself and my art out there. I just wanted to lose all the titles. I just wanted to make art that speaks from my heart. But in the beginning, I had a hard time letting go of the creative briefs. I had a hard time letting go of the target audiences. In essence, I hadn't found my voice. And at this point, I had done a few pieces about my father. And they had felt like a conversation with him. And this made me want more. So in 2020, I started my current body of work, Light Pilots. You see, my father was killed in action in Hawaii 24 days before my first birthday. But the worst part about this tragedy is that my family decided not to talk about it. So this behavioral blueprint that I was given left me feel like I was emotionally drifting. So with Light Pilots, I decided to try to break that cycle and try to heal my family's past wounds. By documenting the process, I hope to open up the conversation for everyone who struggles with grief. In each painting, light signifies a positive lesson that comes from within us or from the outside. Sometimes we can see this lesson, sometimes we don't, but it's up to us to choose if we take that lesson on. My story is not different from anybody else. We all deal with grief. It's part of the human experience. With Light Pilots, I hope to inspire people on their own journeys and to comfort the kids looking for answers. I want to remind everybody that we're all in this together, and the more we talk about emotions, the more we begin to heal. As I continue to explore these themes, I'm taking on new challenges, and next week I begin the visiting artist residency at the Gibbs. And I want to invite all of you to come out and see the work in person and to continue the conversation.